Everybody, that's good stuff. Our show where we take deep dives into pop culture's newest releases. And we are here to talk about the end of Ahsoka from Disney Plus, the latest in the Filoni-verse. We watched 3 episodes, episode 6, episode 7, and episode 8. So we are going to talk about that. Let me adjust. Episode 6 is called... Actually, I need my glasses because it's kind of far away. So. Should have prepared better, but I didn't.
What kind of podcast is this? Second rate. My God.
Episode 6 is called Far, Far Away. I wonder where they got that title. So if you remember last time, we left Ahsoka. She got knocked out into the water. She talked to Anakin. And Sabine got taken by the bad guys to another galaxy. So we returned from that. And this first scene puts us in some space whales. And Tenet Droid is talking to Ahsoka because he wants to tell a story. And she's like, yeah, tell me a story. Because I don't really want to talk about what happened with Sabine. So that's where they get the title, because he starts the story off a long time ago. And it's Star Wars. So we
didn't even finish it.
And that's how it starts from now on.
That's what the title's called.
And it's Star Wars.
That's the Star Wars.
That's what the title is. So then we go to Sabine in prison. She's like, where's Ezra? I want to see Ezra, you promised. Ray Stevenson's like, no. Or he doesn't say anything. He just kind of like stares at her and stuff.
He goes, huh?
And then we arrive in the new galaxy at the planet. I forget what the planet's called. You guys, I think it's like Paradia or something like that. It's no cool. Idea. The cool part about this planet is its rings are made of dead whales. Are you pointing at Luna, or are you just
She's judging.
Luna has things to say.
Your
so they arrive with the big space ring, and they get in the shuttle. They go down to what looks like the city of Gondor. And on top of it, we got 3 witches doing their little witchy things. Yeah.
With balls.
I was going to say.
These are the Night Sisters from, if you remember your old Star Wars canon.
Dathomir.
But these ones aren't. They're from there.
And they fight the Day Sisters, and it's the whole thing.
And then there's the courtship of Princess Leia, and it got weird. And yeah.
So they meet them.
You heard me.
The Night Sisters are like, I smell Jedi. And they look at Sabine.
I smell that stink from a mile away.
They look at Sabine, and she's like, it wasn't me, but they do their little ball trick, and it like traps Sabine, and they take her to jail.
Sorry,
and then
busted.
The Night Sisters are like, he's coming, and then the Chimera comes. It's Thrawn's flagship. It's seen better days. It's pretty broken.
Looks awesome.
They patched it up with some gold. It looks awesome.
Great shot right there too, where it like kind of pans up, just boom. You're like, oh boy,
dude. I don't know what it is about Star Destroyers in atmosphere.
So cool.
It looks so cool. Like,
because it shouldn't be, I guess.
It's too big to be allowed.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
It's just cool.
So the Chimera lands on the tower of that temple. And we see a bunch of stormtroopers in lines of formation, and they're chanting Thrawn, and Thrawn walks up. It's Lars Mikkelsen, right?
Yeah.
Is that the right Mikkelsen?
I remember seeing that name in the credits, yeah.
Okay. So Lars Mikkelsen, he's like, I'm here, I'm Thrawn, I'm blue. And they're like, cool. And then they talk, and he introduces his captain of the guard, or his
Goldface Killer.
And it's Enoch, son of Jared, who lived 365 years before he was taken by the Lord.
Yep.
Sorry, that was some Bible trivia for you.
That's pretty good, actually. Yeah. I was wondering if you were going to do the whole thing. I'm like, he keeps going.
That's like his whole story. It's
I know.
Remember,
he begat and begat and begat. It's like,
and then he walked with the Lord and saw him again.
Father Methuselah.
They begat their brains out. My God.
So
Good times.
Thrawn's like, hey, I remember you. He's talking to Sabine, and they're like, you were on Rebels, and they're like, I know you were on Rebels too. So, and he's like, sends her to jail. He's like, get out of here. No, he doesn't do that. He lets her go. He's like, you can have this rat horse and get out of here. She's like, yeah, I'll take the rat horse, get out of here. And she leaves, and he's like, well, she'll lead us to Ezra, and then once she's there, just go kill him. Because
bada bing, bada boom, it's done.
He's the ultimate gangster. So out there, she finds nomads that attack her. Good thing she has Beskar because she gets shot up a lot.
No joke.
She gets hit quite a bit.
She's good at blocking them, though. That's for sure.
And
Wonder
she
Woman
uses her
style.
lightsaber to defeat them. Meanwhile, Thrawn's like, we got to load up the Chimera, and they have these boxes, and they're.
What snacks do you want?
Sabine yells at her rat horse, calls it a coward.
That's an adorable part, though. I enjoyed that quite a bit.
I did like when it follows her. It's like,
She's like, no, you
Yeah.
don't. You get the classic scene. You expect it, but then she walks off and it falls.
So they make up.
Horrible.
The rat horse takes him to water because horses lead you to water, I guess. And then she meets a crab-like person, the Nutty.
More adorable things.
And it's the Ewoks of this series. And they find...
but
and
more useful, honestly.
It recognizes her rebel medallion thing, and he's got a medallion. And she's like, dude, do you know the Rebel Alliance?
But how?
So she's like, take me to wherever that is. Balin and Shin are on their rat horses following them. They see the nomads, and they're like, those guys can be our friends. And we get some new Star Wars canon out of this conversation. Balin refers to Ezra as a Boken Jedi, which is a Jedi who's been trained after the Purge. So that's what we call those Jedis now. And then we get
Boken.
We get the big reunion between Ezra and Sabine. They don't make out, unfortunately. They just kind of hug it out. And he's like, hey, how'd you get here? And she's like, I do not want to talk about that.
It's complicated. It's like,
He just accepts it.
I know. No, that
asks.
is Ezra, though. He's like, okay, cool. I'm done.
Oh, sure, whatever.
Ezra looking
He's
like he's
still
going to
holding
part
out
the
for-
seas.
He's still holding out for some loving.
That's one of my favorite memes to come out of this, by the way, Jared, is was it Catholic Jesus and it's Obi-Wan? And then you have biblically historic Jesus and it's Ezra.
And then the final shot is Thrawn, and the Night Sister says, hey, a Jedi's coming. And of course, that's Ahsoka. So that leads us into episode 7. Do you guys want to talk about episode 6 yet, or anything that stood
We'll
out?
come back to it. Keep going.
Coming back
keep-
to it.
Keep going. Keep going
It
with this.
seems like we're divided, but okay.
Keep going.
Episode 7, Dreams in Madness, which is something they said in the former episode, so referencing themselves. Hera is on trial at the New Republic, the worthless New Republic that is trashy and stupid.
Dude, who's sick of seeing Mon Mothma?
I like Mon Mothma.
No.
I always have some like nostalgic comfort when she's on screen. I don't know why. I'm just like, it's gonna.
They
be
never
okay.
get another. They never get the actresses like consistent. So it's like really tall or kind of short. One has a really pronounced British accent. One kind of doesn't. So it's like, I don't know, whatever.
She was always weird on Return of the Jedi because she's like many posted and
It's
stuff.
very
What?
spaced out.
Yeah. Okay, so Hera's on trial because he disobeyed orders, so they want to kick her out. But then 3PO comes to save the day. It's C-3PO, everybody. Remember him?
Remember?
And he-
Remember him?
He name drops Leia Organa Solo.
Remember Leia?
Remember Leia? She's out there, guys. She exists. We just don't get to see her. She's a senator somewhere. Her planet got destroyed, so I don't know. Is she like a senator of
She's on
dust?
a beach with a drink and an umbrella, man.
What's up with
they
that
made-
one senator that just wants?
Dude,
Yeah, I
he
don't
has
know.
beef, man.
Like, the other senators are like, why are you so about this, man? Like,
The Imperial Remnant. My
Yeah.
gosh.
you sound
Thrawn's
guilty, dude.
stupid. Yeah, so that guy doesn't believe nothing. Leia tells 3PO to tell him that, yeah, it was all cool. I gave permission for that mission. Permission for the mission, man.
Yeah.
And they're like, and the senator's like, oh dang, like nothing I can argue
Foiled
about
again.
that. But Mon Mothma's like, hey, I know you didn't have permission for that mission, and she's like, okay, yes, I did. I have it right now. And then we go back.
What do they have, Joseph?
Permission for the mission.
There you go.
They go back. We see Ahsoka again. She is training with an Anakin recording. So instead of downloading, some books on her iPod to listen to during the trip, she's got Anakin
Instead of doing
recordings.
Beat Saber, she's training with Anakin.
This is Duel of the Fates.
He's made he made like 20 of these recordings for her. So I'm sure that'll come up sometimes. There'll be a game where you have to recover Anakin's recordings or something like that.
The side quest.
So the tenant droid's like, hey, we're almost there. And she's like, how do you know? Because the whales are slowing down. And
Whale is slow.
so they come out of hyperspace and they're immediately in a minefield because Thrawn has mined the whole planet.
Looks like the minefield out of Galaxy Quest. Remember that? Remember that?
I don't remember that. So the mines are hurting the whales. They're like, good thing we got the whales for backup, and they all leave. So they got to hide in the whales' bones, which is the rings. So they get chased and they hide. It's kind of like Obi-Wan in the asteroids. So her master, what does that refer to? Oh, they're like, Thrawn had asked for information about Ahsoka. And so they're like, here, have this tablet. And he looks at it and he's
Is he
like,
available? What? Nothing? Nothing? I didn't ask anything.
He's like, Anakin Skywalker was her master. He's like, uh-oh. So we gotta be on our best behavior.
Could have mentioned that, in the hellos, but whatever.
Because he knows Anakin from a book that I didn't read, but they had met each other before. And then
I like the cut of that jib. That's good jib.
So they catch up. Oh, catching up. Sabine and Ezra talk. She's like, you missed a lot. He's like, what did I miss?
I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah. Palpatine's dead, maybe. We don't know.
Yeah, I like how they put that
Yeah, of course
maybe in
they
there.
do.
I'm like,
He fell down a shaft.
And blew up.
Yeah, it blew up. Ahsoka's hiding out in the whale still. I don't remember where I put that. Balin and Shin separate. So Balin's like, I have a mission. Because they sent them out to find Ezra. And he's like, Shin, you go find him. I got my own stuff going on. They have an interesting conversation about his feelings about the Jedi. She's like, hey, do you miss the Jedi Order? And he's like, I miss the idea of it. So that was kind of interesting. But they separate because he's got this secret mission that he's on that he doesn't want to tell us. And then Shin attacks the convoy with her nomads, and they have a big fight.
Ezra's like, who's this hot chick?
This is where you learn that in Star Wars, if you got some rocks and some slingshots, you're good.
good to
I
go,
mean-
man. No question.
Got some boomas, man. Boomas. It's all work for you.
Yeah, at least the Boomas were like mystical orb things.
Big,
But Ewoks and these
bouncy
guys,
balls.
fine.
Sabine desperately tries to give Ezra back his lightsaber. He's like, no, I'm strong with the
I don't
Force."
need that crap. I
Yeah.
got the Force.
Ahsoka runs into Balin after she leaves the ship, and they have a fight, and Balin's like, you can't beat me. And Ahsoka's like, yeah, I know. but I'll just run away.
Maybe.
So everyone reunites, and that's pretty much that episode. Thoughts, or do you want to keep going?
Keep it going.
Okay.
Keep it going.
Episode 8, The Jedi, the Witch, and the Warlord. So I wonder where they got that title.
Was it really called that?
Yeah. Promotion. So Michael's favorite bad guy, Morgan Elsbeth, gets a promotion.
She turns into a demon from Supernatural.
She's a full Night Sister now, and she gets the sword of Mother Talzin, which is from the Clone Wars.
The power of self-respect.
Yeah, Jared calls it the power of self-respect. Ezra's building a lightsaber, and he wants it to look like Kanan's. And luckily, he's got Tenet Droid there because he remembers Kanan, and he's got the piece that he needs. So that's cool. Sabine and Ahsoka have a heart-to-heart, and Ahsoka's like, "I will never betray or never leave you." What? Go ahead, Jared.
It's an ugly lightsaber. I'm just gonna say
You
that.
didn't like it?
No, it's ugly.
Ezra's known for his ugly lightsabers.
It's better than the blaster one. That one's, while functional, was a terrible looking lightsaber.
Yeah. And then 2 TIE fighters attack the ship. Ezra, they disable it, so Ezra and Ahsoka have to jump out and hold the ship up because it's going to land on the crab people and make delicious meat, but they don't want that. So Sabine gives it a little more juice and then rams into the TIE fighters and then immediately crashes, which I thought was pretty funny.
Got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
And then Thrawn tells everyone that they gotta expect a ground assault since they took out the ship. And then so they get on the rat horses, and this has made some people a little angry because Ezra is riding behind Sabine when Ezra is known for being a guy that's attuned with animals through the Force. That's kind of his Force speciality. But okay. But I saw a lot of people kind of complained about that. And then Thrawn's like, rain fire down on them, like what's Purple Man?
Purple Man?
Purple Man.
Yeah, from Marvel.
Thanos?
Thanos.
Purple Man. I was like, Ivan Ooze from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
I always think it was Grimace.
Get them shakes.
So yeah, they're raining down fire, and there's like the temple right there, and Ahsoka's like, use the Force, even though I've never seen you use the Force, Sabine. So they're like trying to lift it up.
That was the time. It's training under fire, Joseph.
Yeah. So they get into the temple, and then the night troopers are there waiting for them. They take them out pretty easily, except for Sabine. She has a lot of trouble with her deflecting skills. So.
She's like, just go to blasters.
Put the sword down.
So they take them out pretty easily, and they pose, and then they're gonna walk away, and then all of a sudden the Night Sisters do their little witch thing, and then zombies.
They become Death Troopers.
Death Troopers.
Closest thing we're gonna get to that book.
Yeah,
I know.
So they're zombie troopers now, and they gotta fight them, but they're not as easy because they keep getting up.
They're like better soldiers as zombies than
true
normal stormtroopers.
You think they would just cut off all their heads, but they don't do that. Thrawn takes off, but he's like, "Hey, you got to buy us some more time, Morgan. That's your job." And she's like, "Okay."
She's like, I don't really want to.
I want to go home.
Just got promoted. I don't really want to do this. How do the other ones do it? They've been a night mother forever.
Send the gold face guy.
Ahsoka
already begat.
So she stays behind and faces Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's like, "Hey, I got this. You guys leave." And Morgan just lets them leave because I guess she didn't want to buy them time. So they run into these Dark Trooper guys. They're like half Dark Trooper, half Night Trooper, and they're also zombies. So they fight them. They defeat them, but the Chimera is already leaving. So there's like a giant leap that they have to make. So there's like, do you trust me type kind of thing.
What Sabine finally was able to.
Oh yeah, she uses the Force.
Yeah,
even though she's never been Force sensitive
ever really.
And then she's like, "Yeah, I know how to use the Force now, so I'm just gonna push you over to the Star Destroyer."
And he's like, "Are you serious?" Yeah, I got this.
So that works, but before she could get over, she sees Ahsoka being attacked by the night troopers and Morgan, so she decides to stay. And they fight Morgan together, and they eventually win. Thrawn escapes. He destroys the temple on the way out. So the Ahsoka and Sabine have to live with the little crab-like guys. Ahsoka sees her owl. That's from Rebels. That's kind of her spirit animal.
I thought it was Hedwig.
And then
that letter came too late.
Could have been a wizard.
Shin joins the Nomads. I guess she's going to lead them to attack them again, I guess, at some point.
She's like, I'm obviously the hottest one here. Therefore, I am the leader.
No, they all have masks on. They could be really effective.
Yeah, what if they're
even so, Michael, would you choose them though? Would you choose them or her?
Oh God, he's hard.
Why not all of them, Thomas? We can all be a one big happy family.
Oh my God.
So Balin, we see Balin, he's standing on the Kings of Gondor.
The first Hokage
or the first second Hokage.
He's looking at Mountain Doom.
Yeah, he's looking at Mount Doom because it's over there lighting up over there.
Well, obviously, they're pointing that way. So,
and then Thrawn arrives at Dathomir. I always hated that planet, but okay.
I do too.
And then Ezra, we see the shuttle. It lands in one of the Mon Calamari spaceships, and the lone stormtrooper exits, and they're like, "Oh, they're all going to shoot him because they don't know who this guy is."
Chopper's like, "Hold!"
But Chopper's like, "Wait, I got this. I can use. I
don't let stupid walk anywhere."
And it is Ezra, and he's like, "Hera, I'm home." And that's how it ends.
Where are the other guys?
I'm like, wait,
it's complicated.
Where's
complicated.
The Jedi Master? You can go back in your ship and go bring her back, please.
And then that Always Sunny music comes on.
All right. So that ends the series of Ahsoka. What did you guys think of these 3 episodes? What did you think of the series as a whole?
The Thrawn trilogy there? So
yeah. Go ahead. Who wants to take it away? Thomas, go ahead.
So I'll start with the 6th one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the one where they all kind of like we get the what has Sabine been up to storyline, I guess. This one was kind of cool to see Thrawn in real life. Didn't really get why he just let her go. I don't really understand that part. I mean, I know it's like part of his plan, whatever.
Kind of just led them to him is what he wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly what happened. So
this one was kind of cool. Though I will say that Ray Stevenson was too big for that mouse horse. Like it just looks very odd because he was like
he needs a stallion, man.
Yeah, he was like a 6'7" man, and like that horse is I think he's bigger than the horse.
The horse is riding him.
Yeah. It's pretty cool though. Got to see some pretty good action. It's good to see Ezra again. So not a lot happened in this one. It's just kind of a travel one. But that's how. What do you got?
Yeah, my main takeaway from that one was like Ezra looking like chapter Exodus in the Bible. I was like, what are you doing? What
have you been up to?
Moses.
It's cool seeing, like Thrawn and Ezra live action, even though we've seen glimpses of Ezra, but just him in action. We got another cute race of aliens, these little crab turtles.
I like their design. They're kind of cool.
I like their little ship things.
Ships are awesome.
Little roly-polies.
I like the little armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I liked it.
Yep. Definitely, one thing that keeps coming up with this series that I like a lot is the different environments of Star Wars that they keep showing. Like the last kind of set of episodes, we had that weird red tree planet where they're, getting their coordinates, whatever the junk. And then this one, it just feels very like I made the joke about it being Mount Doom, but it does feel very Lord of the Rings with like one, the charge in that 7th episode against the crab people, whatever. Like they're running like in two towers whenever they're being attacked on the road, and just like, and then even whenever Thrawn's shooting the crazy giant, what you called Gondor Tower City place. I was like, this feels super Lord of the Rings, just kind of the environment. So that's easy points for me. But also just like just changing it up in Star Wars feels really cool, and like having the kind of what'd you call them? The Raiders, the Red Raiders, we'll call them.
Oh, the Nomads.
Yeah, the Nomads. Having them, I thought they were super cool and a little on the nose for them to be wearing red to go with the bad guys, but it's okay. I like their outfits. But yeah, the only thing I had an issue with this episode was the fact of how Ezra wasn't insisting upon knowing how she got there. It's like, this should be impossible. Why don't you prod a little bit more? He's just like Jared said, okay.
Yeah, just happy he's there.
Yeah, getting introduced to Thrawn, I only knew the name, didn't know anything about this guy in the slightest, so that was interesting, cool. Did recognize the actor, but like you said, what was his name? Liam or whatever.
Lars.
There you go, Mickelson. No, I'd seen things before, but he did a great job. Didn't have too much of the bad guy witch lady, so that was cool with me. She kind of takes a step back and she kind of seems smaller because the other witch people are really cool. Like I feel like they're intimidating and weird and creepy, but yeah, I like the pace. I was gonna say like the pace of the show so far, but it's over now. But I like the pace of the show from here.
How do you guys feel about Star Whales?
I don't like them, but
I don't like them.
I liked when they were dead rings around the.
They serve their purpose, and that was. I love the space scenes in these episodes, though, man. Gosh, space scenes are really cool.
They did not overextend their welcome. Like they were there and they're gone. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm down.
I hope they don't use them to get back.
They're gonna resurrect some whales from the ring.
I'm hoping their migration takes like years or centuries, so they just caught them on a lucky break.
So this is also the planet where the Dathomir supposedly came from, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, that's convenient. 3 Dathomir discs right there. Okay. Hello.
Yeah. So like you guys said, not much happened in this. It was basically just an introduction to Thrawn. And like Michael said, I did like the world building they kind of did on this planet because it is a different galaxy. So it should kind of look different and the creatures should look different.
I will say that the Thrawn troopers look pretty stinking cool.
Oh yeah, the night
I love
troopers.
how like just worn and weathered all their suits are. Everything looks really cool.
Yeah.
Well, that and they're all like fanatic. For Thrawn, which is kind of cool because when he's introduced, it's like Thrawn.
That's a really good scene.
And Thrawn's like, stop.
It was very like classic, but also. I don't know. It felt a little fresh, I guess, just from what we've seen in Star Wars lately. But it's like that's the kind of intimidation I like in Star Wars. Whenever they're like,
where the villain's actually scary. Yeah,
it's hard to tell when stormtroopers are chanting because they don't. Their heads don't really move or anything. Well, what do you guys think of episode 7?
A lot happened in this one, so a lot of action.
Yeah, a lot of action for this series. Anything else?
Sorry. I thought someone had. Okay, sorry. I did like this one. I think this is my favorite of the 3 that we're reviewing. I like that we finally got kind of some insight into more insight into Balin. I like that he's doing something with the. I'm pretty sure that's the trilogy people, right? The 3, the father, daughter, and the son.
The Mortis gods.
Yeah, they're like, so Michael, they're in Clone Wars. They basically run into what's like the physical embodiment of the Force. There's like these 3 people. And you know that big statue that he was standing on at the end? That's the father. See the son. And then supposedly the daughter one was destroyed on the left side.
Yeah. So, she was the light side and the father was the balance and the son is the dark side.
A giant bat.
Yeah. He also has some animal forms too. It's kind of weird. But yeah, I like that we got to see a bit more of him. The reunion was kind of cool, kind of cheesy though. It's like, oh, this reunion. But yeah, the action in this was pretty cool. The fight scene that. Okay, I'll say this though. Even though Ezra should have just picked up the stupid lightsaber, because I'm sorry, like just pick up the.
I know. Yeah.
It was cool to see him block the lightsaber with the Force and see the plasma like form around the Force. That was pretty cool. So
yeah, I like the idea of him just fighting with the. I've always liked the idea of just the Jedi using the Force instead of a lightsaber. So that was cool.
If we can just get the Gendy Tarakovsky, the Mace Windu one, where he's like fighting the entire army of droids,
where he's unbolting the droids.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like go. Yeah. Oh God, it's such a good episode. But yeah, this one was very good. I like this one a lot. So, who's next?
I'll just go. This was a good episode. Whenever I see a giant statue, I can't help but think of the Hokage statue and like the Madara statue. I know you guys go to like Lord of the Rings, but I'm like,
or Mount Rushmore, but whatever.
Those are just a whole body.
It's the only thing that's actual real life here, but whatever.
Well, they don't have bodies; they just have heads.
Because it's real. It's real.
But these have whole bodies.
Not yet.
Wait till I get there.
I don't really have much to say about this one. It was cool. I did like seeing Ezra fight with just the Force.
Yeah.
I do like that. I don't know how they're going to do it because Ray Stevenson's unfortunately passed away. But he seems to be the more powerful character out of like the remnant of the Jedi. Like, because even Ahsoka's like, I just need to run this time. So,
Michael,
Ahsoka's pretty darn useless, honestly, in this show.
Well, okay, I was gonna say like this is Sabine, a little bit of Ezra, and Ahsoka.
Ahsoka, she basically loses every fight until the end, or runs from every fight. Yeah, she's interesting. Okay, so remind me where this episode ends, because I watched the last one and this one back to back.
They all just kind of reunite. Ahsoka, Sabine, and
that's when Ahsoka actually gets there, and
and they like tell Shin to leave, and she runs away.
True. Yeah. So yeah, you like Thomas said, this has a lot of action in it. But I thoroughly enjoyed the fight scenes in this one. Like I said, the charge with the rat horses, Joseph's dubbing them. But and I like we were talking about their little like car things, and like even the Raider people, Red Raiders, were like trying to stab the shells and everything. I liked how they weren't completely useless. Like they had their ways of being defensive or whatever. I do like the line where they're she's like, oh, darn it! What did he say? She's like,
they're peaceful people.
They're peaceful people. Yeah, but they can't be. They can be peaceful, but they can also be
defenseless.
Not defenseless. There you go. I enjoyed that. I love the characters in this show. Like they're doing such a like, especially in these last few episodes, set up so much where I'm like, oh darn, I want to know more. Like normally when I finish a Star Wars season or something, I'm just like, okay, yeah, we're done, whatever, fine. But like this opened to so many questions these last few episodes, like with Shin and her and it going off with them. But we'll leave that for the next episode. But yeah, the kind of growth of, like you guys brought up Ray Stevens' line where he says, yeah, you're going to go off, you're going to do that, and I'm going to go this way. And Thrawn's like, where's your guy? Like, what's going on? It adds such mystery. And then her, the Shin character, she goes up and you could just like, I like her unpredictability of like, you don't really know what's going on in her head. She doesn't really have, like, she really has a loyalty to her master, and that's about it. She doesn't really have a side that she seems to be on, and she's kind of cuckoo crazy. Hot, but then what? but yeah, the super good episode, I thought. Did you say something?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard like what?
Yeah, it was my chair.
It was good. Is this the one where? Yeah, this is the one where. No, that's the last one where they're on the run. You said they destroy the TIE
That's
fighters.
the last one.
That's the
Yeah.
last one. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to bottle all these together. So yeah, just enjoyable, good visuals, very good visuals actually compared to like the beginning of the season, where I was like, ugh, all the costumes are bad. Oh,
this one is doesn't fix it, but it does it better. Everything looks worn.
Yeah,
so
everything looks like it belongs there.
Belongs there, like it's lived in. Yeah, and part of that whole like New Republic crap that we always have to run into is that everything just looks too shiny,
clean and brand spanking new and fake. But the only thing that does look super clean, which I like, is Thrawn. Is because he just seems like such a neat, and that's the thing
that's his character. Though.
I love, that's what I'm saying. I like how it plays to that, and I like one thing I love they do in these last two episodes is how he doesn't underestimate Ahsoka, because he talked about, he's like, that's how I got in this position, is underestimating women. I'm not going to do that again, because like this master tactician that they kind of put up a lot. And he's just like, just the simple things. They didn't overdo it, in my opinion. They just had him like, hey, you're going to do this, and he kind of gives a name maneuver of some whatever doing. But it's not like, it didn't focus on that a lot. But you got enough of it to where you're like, oh, this guy's not one to trifle with, and I like that a lot. So very cool.
You need to read the Thrawn, the original Thrawn. Get them on audiobook. They got them all on Audible. They're so good.
And
Original
then
Thrawn trilogy.
we get to the last episode. I thought it was pretty cool. Interesting the way to end this. It's a little frustrating how they leave so many loose ends, but I guess you can expect that because it's all building up to this movie they're going to do. But what do you guys think of the last one?
Are they doing a movie?
Yeah, Filoni's going to do a movie with like the Mandalorian and Ahsoka, and they're like all teaming up to take down Thrawn. But
well, I know that they mentioned Mandalore when, like, in the New Republic part. They're like, "Oh yeah, remember what happened on Mandalore?"
Yeah,
yeah. This one was kind of, I would say it's disappointing. That's the wrong word, but just
yeah.
I felt like there should have been another episode or something, or I don't know. There was a lot of build up to this, and then it just kind of ends in a 48-minute episode. You're just like, oh, damn. So, I think Michael brought it up. It was like, yeah, Ezra's back. Cool. Where's Ahsoka and Sabine? Well,
Yeah, that was kind of weird that they got there just to get stuck there, and then now he's back, and we're like kind of in the same place we were.
Yeah.
We're always missing some Jedi.
I thought it would be like more. I thought it would make more sense to have Shin and Balin stuck there, or just be there, because I think he wanted to be there, and so
yeah,
I think that would make more.
That's why Ahsoka and Sabine are there, because they have to deal with whatever he's doing. But
and Thrawn calls her a Ronin. I'm like, okay, are we just? I guess we're using real words now. So it's like when they use fiance in one of the books. I was like, why? Well, that's an odd thing to say.
Jerry, what'd you think of the last episode?
I wasn't disappointed. I kind of, I guess, figured that it would kind of end on a cliffhanger, and like once there was a part in the episode where like I think Ahsoka tells Sabine like, Anakin always had my back, always believed me. And she's like, I'm going to do that for you now. I was like, someone's either dead or staying on that planet. So I was kind of expecting that. I kind of like the zombie troopers. That was kind of cool. Just reminds you of Death Troopers. I do like the scene where Ezra is constructing a lightsaber. I always like when you see scenes like that, like in books and stuff like that. And then most recently that I can remember is like Jedi Fallen Order. Like when you're doing that on that, I always like when they're constructing their lightsabers. Although it's like the ugliest lightsaber I've ever seen. At least the blaster lightsaber is like
that thing's terrible.
It's like Final Fantasy. It's like the gunblade. It's better than the Inquisitor lightsabers. Those stupid helicopter things.
No, that one's like, I hate the Inquisitor lightsabers.
I hate that those were ever made. They're so dumb.
Those are bad, actually.
Anyway,
mine spins.
I think Michael mentioned how like that witch lady is kind of cheesy whenever she's like on screen. This is the one time where I kind of felt it, like when she was like getting turned into like a witch with them or whatever, and then it's always that thing like when people like turn their shit, like it never looks good. Like when that happens, it never looks good. But yeah, there's never like someone doesn't know the Force and then they slowly get better at it. It's like they don't know it and then they're like good at it.
Yeah, it's kind of rage.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. At least they didn't overextend it though, because like even like Ezra's like, I don't really think this is a good idea.
Yeah, it's dumb because like Luke takes forever to master the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Empire, he can barely like grab the lightsaber. so he doesn't do that all the time. But you did make a good point about Ahsoka. You said someone was probably going to die. I did think Ahsoka might have going into this. I thought maybe she would die in this one episode. She's been around for a long time. Yeah. A lot of people thought she would die at the end of Clone Wars, and then she's still in this. So I don't know. Maybe.
I did like seeing that Force Ghost of Anakin. He's kind of just like proud.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
That was cool.
Kind of a wink, but yeah, I like this episode. I didn't think it was a disappointment.
You could definitely tell that Filoni was involved in this one because of the symmetry where the hyperspace ring comes onto the planet.
Oh, that was
Do you
cool.
remember that? It was a cool shot, but it reminded me completely of the Clone Wars and the ending where everything is. You have to see that part. You're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get what he wants to do.
So, Michael, what did you think of the last episode?
I'm super high on the last episode. I feel like from episode 3 or 4 on, really, the show just kept going up for me. Like it just kept getting better and better. They kept trimming more of the wasted time. Like the first few episodes.
Yeah, those first 2 episodes were.
Those are
If
pretty
they were
rough.
trimmed, this would be an excellent season. But like I said, or we'll start with the kind of how it opens, where he's building the lightsaber. And I haven't shout out David Tennant this episode of ours, so I got to shout out David Tennant because he's he's awesome. Like he plays this character so well. I love the like kind of joking around. He's like, yeah. He's like, I've been teaching people how to make lightsabers forever. He's like, but I have my own way. And he's like, who is your master? Oh yeah, I made his. Like I taught him how to make them. Like I love that kind of back and forth they have.
I do love that. It's like I have a system. It's like you don't have a system. You have a process. Or method. Yeah, method. Sorry.
But I love his character in this so much because he's like comic relief, but he's not goofy. Like he has that kind of intelligence and he has knowledge. He's not just like, I'm here to go. And you're like, okay, it's enough. So, but I love his character. So I want to shout him out one more time. I like the Ezra guy a lot. I didn't know anything about him going into this. But like you guys said, with him fighting just with the Force, I really liked in the last episode. But then this one, leading up to the charge, and like Thrawn still even though it's just like a few people on a couple rat horses with a bunch of crabs, he's still wary of it and everything. And there are a few things like you guys say with the Force jump, silly, rushed and everything, but that was a cool shot though. You got to give it that was a cool shot where he's jumping and she goes boom and he goes doof. I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
And then the other silly but excusable one for me is the charge on the tower where they're trying to open the doors and they dodge everything. I'm like, they could be, forces with them. That's the Star Wars thing. That's a Star Wars thing. A little silly to watch, but you're like, it's excusable. And it looks really, really freaking cool. And I love how Thrawn's like kind of not holding back at all. He's like, I'm not just gonna, send a few guys. Or he does send a few guys whenever they're at the camp, whatever. But he's always thinking about things like that. He's like, well, we've lost a lot of people here. That was one of the lines he said. And then like leading up to this is like, yeah, blow the runway to heck. Like try and kill them now. And they get in like you guys brought up those Death Trooper things. That was so cool, man. Oh, it was so well done. That could have been super lame, but it was super cool. And it was actually intense, which I liked a lot.
Yeah.
And like at that point where they end up closing the doors, I'm like, okay, it's a good way to get away from that without making it seem like cop outish of something they did. I don't know. The tall ones, the Dark Trooper, Death Troopers, super cool as well. That fight scene was really, really. The fight scenes in this were really, really good.
Yeah, the last episode had like Ahsoka's. This was probably her best.
I
lightsaber
100%
scene.
agree. 100% agree. There are a few things with just. I feel like it's hard to do two lightsaber fight, like a person with two lightsabers fighting without like. I'm like, oh, I see an opening there. There's an opening there, and like it's. I understand that's extremely hard to do, but there's a lot where I'm like, oh, you just swing there and she's missing a leg. But anyway, but it was really, really good. And whoever they got to, unless that lady who played the cheesy witch lady can fight like that, whoever they got to do it was.
I think she is a martial artist, actually. Yeah.
I wonder if it was her because like she was moving fast, dude. I was like, holy cow! It was really, really cool. And that like the wide shots of them going back and forth across that tower were so cool.
I like how she kept getting really close, like and making Ahsoka uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Block.
Yeah, and I like that she kept putting her hand on the back of the blade like that, and that kind of it was very cool style. One thing that it confused me at first. I was like, oh, it kind of makes sense because I was like, Sabine ends up putting on her helmet, and I was like, why wouldn't you have that on the whole time? It's like, wait, Ahsoka, that was probably still on the ship, and she didn't get it till Ahsoka came and got them. So I was like, okay, that's excusable, and I accept it. So I liked how she grabbed that before she went back to the thing. We already talked about the taking out the TIE fighters, which I liked a lot because it's kind of like it keeps David Tennant's character useful, but not in the way. So like, hey, you got to fix the ship and you got to come save us because we're going to be in doo doo. Then just wrapping it up with Thrawn getting away. I love that. Like I loved this. Very much feels like the end of like the second Hobbit movie or like Empire Strikes Back or something where it's like, oh, this is just kind of heavy. Like there's a lot of stuff. Like I feel like they wrapped up a lot of what the story was trying to tell, like introducing Thrawn, what's going on? Is this a threat? Like at the end of this, like, yeah, there's a threat now. We don't know what Ray Stevens guy's doing or what Shin's happening.
Or what are in the boxes that they're shipping.
Yeah. I think those are corpses.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, so
they're gonna make a whole zombie army.
Yeah, good. That makes a lot of sense. That's cool. We lost a lot of people, but we gonna bring them anyway.
Yeah.
I love the shot where Shin goes up and raises her lightsaber as kind of like, hey.
Oh yeah.
It's like that kind of like that desperate move, but also like, hey, I'm gonna take over because I can. I don't know. There was something weird about in that kind of stance. Super cool. I don't know.
Like I said, she's the hottest one there.
It's like follow me to freedom. But we are free. Oh,
yeah.
More freedom. This is freedom plus.
No, you're bored. But yeah, and then going up to the end where they chase almost said Thanos, good lord, Thrawn in space, and they get so close to it, ever like boosting all power ships and everything, and it just takes off, and you're like, oh man, that's just like a heavy moment, visually cool. I don't know. I love the style of this whole season. Like after we get off the lame, cheap looking places at the beginning, so cool looking. I definitely want Alex to watch this because I think he would really like it because he's half down on Star Wars most of the time. But I think he would like this. But I don't know.
For good reason.
Really like. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, after Obi-Wan, you can't.
Mandalorian season 3.
He did not watch that.
Yeah,
I would not recommend that. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed Ahsoka. It started off like okay, but just kept getting better toward. I think it's easily a great season. Easily.
See, what did I say? As soon as like the characters like set in, it gets way better.
It's Filoni stuff. It's not perfect. No. There's still a lot of dialogue that's 100%. Not great. Thrawn has these long pauses whenever like someone asks him questions. It's weird. He like takes forever to answer.
Grand Admiral, what would you like to eat?
It's like he's supposed to be super smart, but it takes him forever to answer a question.
He's like, well, if I have PB&J, then I have this and with this.
He's calculating every variable, Joseph.
I can't have the meatball sub. It's too late for that. I'll have acid reflux.
One thing I like about Thrawn, and like you know how he's like a master tactician. He's not like an Eisen though, where he's like, oh, I knew that.
I knew this was coming. Yeah. I also love they did keep it in Rebels, but I'm really glad they did keep it. Is that one of the reasons why he understands his enemies so well is because he studies their art form.
Yeah.
That's like one of my favorite parts about Thrawn. He's like, well, people read their history, people read their tactics, but I study their art. And when you actually understand their art, you understand who you're fighting. I'm like, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. So what do you think it goes from the future? Like we said, we think the boxes are full of dead people. So probably Star Wars versus zombies. Unfortunately, they are going back to that galaxy, Michael. So we'll probably see the terrible New Republic outfits and stuff like that.
How do they not get overthrown already? Like I swear, like incompetence is like putting it lightly.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
They're the worst.
The corpse of Revan is in one of those boxes. It's like Naruto where they have the Hokages in the boxes. It's
back to Naruto.
Or is Balin going to find Revan? What is Balin looking for?
I don't know, but someone's finding him.
Somebody.
I hope so.
A lot of people say it's Abeloth, which is kind of
the lady?
Yeah, she was a boss in one of the book series, The Legacy of the Force.
But I thought she was tied to the universe, the main universe.
The stuff out beyond. Well, it's supposed to be like out in like the what do you call it?
The unknown region.
The unknown region, yeah.
I guess they just kind of...
Michael, Abeloth is this woman who has a smile that goes like from here all the way up.
And Joker smile?
Scary lady.
Yeah.
Scary lady.
He actually scares Luke.
Ooh. What? So...
Who doesn't scare Luke?
Before this series, I knew that they were planning on doing the movie, But now I'm like, I kind of wish they would do another series of Ahsoka to lead into the movie. I'm like, I feel like there needs to be more because I don't want that to be. I don't want all these answers to be rushed in the movie.
People are thinking the Mando season 4 is another lead-in, so maybe we'll see Ahsoka in that. But they gotta do something with like Luke, because it can't just be like they're having a war without him, right?
Yeah, without the Jedi. Yeah.
So maybe
I don't know.
Some people have suggested maybe they're gonna recast the old characters and just have them like Luke, Leia, and Han somehow appear.
Just get Sebastian Stan. He's on like pre-order for Disney. So well, they got him for Winter Soldier, so like they already got him. So just saying.
All right. You guys got any last words on Ahsoka the series?
It's just missing some Grogu. That's all it's missing.
Grogu.
Good Lord. Let's put these things up together. We got Mando season 3 and Ahsoka. One has Grogu, one
you
doesn't.
can't. Why do you have to compare it to 3?
Oh, who are they going to get to recast Balin though?
I know.
I keep thinking
because he was amazing in this.
Clancy Brown.
No way. Is he going to be in it?
Clancy Brown. He was already in this.
He was already in the show.
They wasted their only chance.
He'd be a good choice though.
Yeah, I guess they have to recast it. So, yeah.
They better not do like, oh, well, he died. No. This character's way too good to just be like, because of that. Like, it has to be somebody else.
He can find a helmet.
Revan's helmet.
Not the worst workaround, but I mean, oh well.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. All right. We are going to be back next time. I don't want to say what it is just in case it's not, but we'll have some more stuff. So like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff to come. And we will see you next time. Okay, let's get